Got him on. There's a fish. Oh, nice one. Oh, that's a big one. Oh, in the trash can.
Please don't forget to support the Friedman Adventurers family members who make this all possible, like the taxman, Tim Marquez, and your garage doorman, Joe Welker, who does a great job and gets rave reviews here at Friedman Adventures. Heating and or air conditioning needs, it's our dear friend John Lopez, and also the Island Spirit, Ventura Sport Fishing. You can't beat it. Chris Isaac and the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, www.longbeachsportfishing.org.
Get out of bed and wake up the kids, 'cause you know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Fishing reports up and down the coast with Phil Friedman, your coffee-loving host. So much fishing intel, it feels like cheating when you tune into the morning briefing. Inshore, offshore, from the surf, bluefin, yellowtail, pod, surf, perch. They'll tell you where the fish are and what they're eating when you tune into the morning briefing. So give it a like and subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified of all the fishing content coming your way. Friedman Adventures is here to make your fishing day. It's a morning briefing. Morning briefing.
Good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. I mean, this is the most summer-like day I've seen, perhaps all summer long. It is sunny, it is warm, and the water temperatures remain pretty good also. Feels kind of warm here this morning. That ocean is absolutely gorgeous. It belies the fact that there's some wind offshore, no doubt about it. It's windy out there where we're looking for bluefin tuna. And what about the BFT? We got to talk about that because, man, they're making us pull our hair out right now, those of us who have hair left. Also, we're going to go down to Mexico and check that out. We're going to check out the long-range situation. We'll even go up to the border of Canada where there's some great salmon fishing going on. San Francisco, more halibut in the Channel Islands, this local bite, and so much more. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. So good. This tide's coming up on me, so I'm going to put my coffee cup up here just a little bit higher. It is great to be with you. Thank you so much for all the likes and, of course, subscribing to the Friedman Adventure YouTube channel. Also, remember, tick that rotten, filthy, disgusting, smelly, deplorable little bell, and you'll be notified when there's new content. You can follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Really a beautiful day. And man, I'll tell you, whether you're catching fish in the surf here or not today, it is absolutely gorgeous. All right, I want to mention my dear friend Dave Hansen, your saltwater guide. And of course, Michael Folks from the History of Sport Fishing. That is a great series. You should take advantage of that and learn about this great sport that we all love so much. I was on Dave's show yesterday at 12 noon. Couldn't have had a better time with two dear friends, Dave, Mike. I really can't thank you enough. That was a lot of fun. We got to have you over here on the Friedman Adventures podcast again and delve into some new stuff. But a great show, everybody. Your saltwater guide, History of Sport Fishing with Michael Folks. Highly recommend. you take a look at that. All right, let's go south of the border and talk about what's going on down there in San Quintin. Still good yellowtail fishing for the pongas out of there. They're doing really, really well. Offshore, there's a little bit of bluefin tuna. We'll get into that on our bluefin tuna report coming up in just a couple of minutes. Inshore, we see a lot of good calico bass fishing. If you want to do that, some halibut, still an occasional white sea bass being taken down there in that neck of the woods, and plenty of rockfish. How about the first Dorado of the season in beautiful Ensenada, Baja California? That is only 70 miles below the border. High hopes there's more to come, and that's a nice local flathead. Beautiful fish for Mara sport fishing in beautiful Ensenada, Baja California. I'm loving that. Now, is that a sign of things to come? We can only hope, but it's only one Dorado right now. Now, we've seen a little bit more Dorado, which we'll talk about further on down the coast. There's been some local flatheads also, but just not a lot of them, just a little bit here and there. We've seen a little bit of yellowfin tuna also entering into the picture. We could certainly use a big wave of that tropical or subtropical fish, and high hopes that that is indeed going to be the situation here very, very soon. We'll continue to watch it. All right, let's talk bluefin tuna. I'm trying to find the adjective to really just drive home how the bluefin tuna bite is going right now, as gently yet as accurately as I can, and I've finally come up with it. Pretty much sucks right now. It is really tough fishing on the bluefin tuna out of San Diego. I'm sorry to tell you, but man, it seems like there's few schools around, and there's just not many fish in those individual schools, and it's just really hard to get them to bite. Really tough fishing going on. That is not to say that a few guys didn't get in on some good fishing, like Susan Sosa was on board the Searcher. We saw some pretty good big bluefin. In fact, Susan said on her 3-day trip that the fish they caught were big and they were mean. Wendy Toshihara was also on that trip from Iserline International, and she had some nice big fish. So there has been that. The Independence a couple nights ago caught fish, and they were all over 100 pounds. Really good fishing in there. And our friend Jeff Lingle, who takes people that all have security clearances on trip, Jeff was down there fishing in that 140-mile zone, and he had good signal down there. Granted, he only has 5 people on the boat, but they had 20 bluefin tuna, and they saw Dorado, and they caught some yellowfin tuna. It wasn't really all that bad for Jeff. 20 bluefin tuna, couple of yellowfin, 25 yellowtail. He said they had a 95-pounder on the kite down there in that neck of the woods. All in all, 165-pounder, 148-pounder, 135, 115, 6 fish over 100 pounds. And Jeff said, man, I was listening to the Danny Cadota show with you and Danny the other day, and you guys were talking about observation and then adapting, and he said being flexible on this trip paid off in a big way, because he caught fish on the kite, on the troll, on the SK lures, on the kind of a drop shot bait rig. He did all of that on this trip, and also some fish. Did I say SK lures? I think he did. Eddie Bomb also catching some fish, so pretty good down there. But you throw a bunch of boats on it, it's hard to say whether it's just good enough for a couple yachts down there, or some bigger boats could also indeed get a piece of it. Bait remains an issue at the San Diego Bait Receiver. Really dear friend of the Friedman Adventures family, and a dear friend of yours truly, Ariel Wiseman, just pulled in to San Diego. 3-day trip on board the Legend, and Ariel said, man, they rationed us on bait out there at the Bait Receiver, so that is still going on right now. The bait we got, said Ariel, was really good, excellent, beautiful sardine. But on a 3-day trip on board the Legend, he said maybe we had a fish per rod. He said he thought it was something like 21 guys, 18 on the bluefin tuna. He said very, very, very tough fishing on the bluefin. High hopes that that's all going to swing around and start to bite again, but right now it is tough, man. I will tell you right now, some of that smaller grade bluefin that you get into once in a while wants to bite on the really light stuff, so I would have some 20-pound and small hooks, like a 4-circle hook, if you're going to fish that smaller grade stuff. These guys are trying to get you the bigger fish. And as I said, schools seem to be kind of chopped up right now, and there's just not a lot of fish, and they're not biting. That can change overnight. We've seen it before. Let's hope that it does, because we don't have the full moon excuse anymore. It is just really tough fishing. Let's go to the islands and talk about the Coronado Islands, and that too has been on the difficult side. Not biting all that well at the islands. In fact, the San Diego said, I'm out of here. I'm going offshore. And they went offshore and ended up with 23 bluefin tuna, a couple of yellowtail to go along with that, and mentioned that the lighter fluorocarbon, like the 20-pound, is a very good idea. So keep that in mind. Bring some lighter stuff if you're going to catch that fish. And I'm talking fish that are, I don't want to say 5 pounds, 6 pounds. They are like that grade sometimes, up to 25 pounds. And then you'll catch some bigger ones mixed in with it. All depends. At the islands themselves, much slower yellowtail fishing has been the rule here recently. After a spectacular month of yellow fishing mixed with barracuda and bluefin tuna and so much more at the Coronado Islands, it has been spectacular, but it is equally as slow right now. Pretty darn tough fishing going on. Grande, 22 guys, 14 yellowtail, not bad, 12 barracuda, a halibut. Cody Morales, private boater, went out there and he had what looks to be a pretty darn good catch, if you ask me. We've seen other boats like the Liberty with the bluefin and 8 on the yellowtail. Several other boats fishing the islands like the Mission Belle. 6 guys had 7 yellowtail. So the islands are pretty darn tough right now with that bait shortage. I'd definitely be bringing yo-yo iron. That has been effective on the yellows there. And also I would be bringing along with me some surface iron. Definitely want to have both those along with you. Carlos Cortez, who fishes out of Popotla in Mexico, Baja California, about a 15-minute drive south of Rosarita Beach is where you'll find Popotla. They have fish markets and restaurants, and Carlos operates out of there. He had a good day at the Coronado Islands. Seems like a private boater where you don't need all that many fish to have a great day, or little panga like Carlos has out of Popotla can do pretty well still there at the islands and load you up on rockfish and calico bass and so much more. We'll bring you up here into this neck of the woods, and windy weather out there at San Clemente Island, where we still see some big yellow superior calico bass fishing. At Catalina Island, a smattering of yellowtail all through the island. It doesn't bite really full speed, although the aggressor had 7 yellows yesterday out of Newport, so that's not a bad hit at all. And high hopes that that island is going to get rocking and rolling. The El Patron had a yellowtail, a regulation one too, looked like about a 15-pound forky instead of one of those smaller ones. They also had some good calico bass fishing. They're there right now doing their thing and hopefully catching a few more yellowtail, but a variety of fish, whitefish, rockfish. If you focus on that, a little bit of barracuda, a little bit of calico bass, sometimes that can be quite good. And fishing the lighter line for sure has been the best way to make that happen. We've seen some pretty good results by doing that. Channel Islands, windy weather up there. In fact, the Endeavor, I had so many great friends that were on that trip. It canceled because too windy. Tucker McComb says, let's do it on a day when we have a chance, because it is really, really windy at the outer islands, where there has been some really good halibut scores, and the Mirage has been all over it out of Cisco Sport Fishing in Oxnard. 71 halibut the other day. Just a magnificent catch. 19 guys yesterday, 38 halibut. That's great fishing. 17 barracuda, and of course they're catching lots of rockfish, the Aloha Spirit. 4 white sea bass. That's a nice hit on the WSB, as we are starting to see that enter into the picture again. We need to get out of this damn wind for a little bit. It should not be blowing like this deep into summer and the fall. This is when we're going to get our best weather months. September and October are normally when you have no wind here in SoCal, and it gets gorgeous. Maybe we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. The island tack limits of calico bass up there in that neck of the woods. Nothing wrong with that kind of fishing. Let's look at our local bite down in San Diego. The new Seaforth continues to catch some calico bass, not wide open, but decent. And they get a shot, a yellowtail on many of their trips. They had 3 yellows on one of their trips yesterday. There's a lot of yellows zooming around. Sometimes they'll get up into the double digits on that yellowtail. A good fly line bait works great, but a surface or yo-yo iron perhaps has been the best way to get a bite. And don't forget, to get a bite on a bait, you got to drop down to 20 pound. Sometimes lighter than that. When you're fishing bass, I'm dropping down to 12 pound, 15 pound. But when you're fishing with a bait, you've got to drop down. Not so with the iron. You can fish 50 pound, get a bite on the iron, and have half a chance in case there's a lot of structure and you hook a really big fish. So keep that in mind. We take a look elsewhere along the coast down there around Dana Point. We see some calico bass biting down there. A lot of shorts that are being released for good action. We see kind of slow bass fishing here in the LA Orange County area. But twilight has been pretty good at times. In fact, the El Patron, as you saw that trash can fish on the lead in, had limits of sand bass on their last twilight trip, and they are going to do it again this weekend. El Patron runs out of Long Beach sport fishing Friday, Saturday, Sunday night twilight fishing. You should become part of it, and you can do it by going to www.longbeachsportfishing.org on a beautiful, glorious morning. It can't get any more beautiful than it is right now. As I mentioned, a lot of sculpin and rockfish here on the local scene. The Monte Carlo had a yellowtail half-day boat out of beautiful 22nd Street landing in San Pedro, California, and picked at the bass. So we're seeing a little bit of that. And up there in the Channel Islands, there's some local sand bass and calico bass. At times, it's good. Most of the time, it's out at the island, but the sand bass, of course, are going to be along the coast. And you can fill in with shallow water rockfish, that kind of stuff. Avila Beach, Morro Bay, great rock fishing. Santa Barbara, great rock fishing. Look out, they're going to get a hit here on the sea bass and or halibut very, very soon. Windy weather will subside here shortly, and hopefully we'll get back to some really nice weather because we could use it right now, no doubt about it. Up there in San Francisco, California, we are continuing to see some really outstanding fishing. You know, if you want to go outside and catch rockfish, you can do that. Stay inside, get a limit of striped bass is pretty common. Some nice big halibut, and there's still some of that bigger bluefin wandering around up there offshore. If you get a good weather day, you can go offshore and catch 100+ pound bluefin. That would not be out of the question, so we're loving that. Let's go a little bit further up the line, up there near the Canadian border, and Brian Henley, who's a dear friend of the Freedman Adventurers family. Patos Island, if I remember correctly, he was near there, about 3 miles from the Canadian border is where Brian makes his home. And he said, man, the salmon fishing was so much fun. He said it's run and gun salmon fishing, like you're running on a bird school of yellowtail up there. And he had great success, great fishing with the buzz baits. You run up on one of those zones of salmon leaping out of the water, throw a buzz bait, and you are on. That sounds like so much fun, Brian. Really happy you did so well. Taking a look at the Southern California surf. This water is beautiful, and that ocean is tailor-made for throwing a small crocodile like a 3/4 ounce, or bait fishing, or throwing a lucky crab. There's been some decent fishing down there around the Huntington Beach Pier. We've seen some fish down there, and I'm talking mostly corbina, barred perch, yellowfin croaker here at the water tower. We've seen a few yellowfin croaker and corbina. A few short halibut have been taken recently. It has not been wide open in the surf, but man, it's gorgeous down here. It's just so beautiful to be standing here with you all this morning. Man, if you get a chance to come out and go for a walk and experience this beauty, I highly recommend you do it. Get some vitamin D, get some exercise, and dream about all the little fishies that are out there. And while you're at it, stop off at Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California, right down there on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway, giving away a free custom fishing rod every single month for the biggest surf fish. All you got to do is buy the ruler, and then you're in. They'll tell you all about it when you go in there. And they also are not Southern California's. They are Southern California surf fishing headquarters, but not only that, they've got everything you'll need for fishing the islands or fishing offshore or fishing those rotten, filthy, disgusting bluefin tuna. I only say that because they're not biting right now. When those things turn on, they've got all the gear you'll need for that also. Taking you up a little bit further up to around Long Beach, occasional halibut up there, and some yellowfin croaker in the Santa Monica Bay. Seen some yellowfin croaker and corbina there around the Redondo Beach area. Hasn't been all that bad in that neck of the woods as we continue to see some progress there. Also up there, El Porto, El Segundo, some yellowfin croaker up there, and some pretty good corvina fishing there up there in the Channel Islands area. Still catching some bar perch up there in that neck of the woods. Long range fishing has been absolutely spectacular. Alijos Rocks may not be kicking out a ton of wahoo, but the ones they've been kicking out on 8-day trips down there about 500 miles or so have been big. There's been some really nice big quality wahoo down there in that neck of the woods. We're also seeing in that area, or I should say down there, some good yellowfin tuna fishing, 40 to 80 pound yellowfin tuna, and we've also seen some really good yellowtail fishing, 18 to 25 pound yellowtail biting really, really well down there in that neck of the woods. So long range fishing is still pretty good. The Independence, as I mentioned, was fishing that local bluefin, had a good hit on it. The Royal Polaris did, and it's been really, really good. Hey, I think that's Evan Leeper right up here with his son. We might as well get him on the morning briefing. Hey, we get a surf fishing report from you. What's up, Evan?
How's it going, Phil? Good
How are you, man? Good to see you.
This is Jet.
Jet, good to meet you, buddy. How are you? Good. Give me 5. All right.
Lots of fun.
How was it?
Not too bad. Got a couple of bites, but nothing crazy.
All right.
Didn't really catch anything. We were just fishing like a Carolina rig, a little sandworm, maybe throwing a little spoon action.
But dude, I've been mentioning on the morning briefing, I mentioned that it was kind of slow around here, but what a summer-like day,
it's so
huh?
beautiful today.
Is this nice or what? It's beautiful today.
He could just go fish or go playing in the sand and in the water and have the best day ever. Anyway,
Hey, I'm with you. I'm right there, 100%.
Thanks for the intel, though.
Oh, no
And for
problem.
letting us in.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime you want to come down, just let me know.
Hey, dude, I appreciate it.
All right, I'm going to end this up, and then I'll walk up with you.
right on.
All right, everybody, thanks. What a great show. I think that's up to you to be the judge of that. Man, those bluefin are driving us crazy right now. Terrible fishing. It really does. I don't want him to hear this. It really does suck right now. And hopefully we will see that rebound shortly. Have a great one. Take care. And I hope to see you really, really soon.